Fog can be overrun, right?
Yeah.
You have Cancel and Manly to fight big bombs.
They were doing that in M11 too. I remember at Amsterdam, Brad Nelson, like after his first draft, was like, "Yeah, I threw out my first draft, and I won games with 4 different green instants that cost single green.
What were they?
Giant Growth, Hornet Sting, Fog, and I cannot remember what the last one was.
It's probably only one of them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like our feature match for this round is going to be Matt Farney versus Adam Umstattd.
Cool. I'm excited to see what these players have brought to the table. These players will both be 4-0 going into this round. So there's 9 rounds today, I believe. So the way this works, if you haven't watched SCG Live before, is there'll be the quarterfinals played out tonight, and then we'll play the rest of the top 8 tomorrow morning. So we'll see who gets to the top 4 tonight, and then see who wins out tomorrow. So we'll have 6 more rounds total, including this one, and then the quarterfinals after that. And we'll see where we end up at that point. Who's in the top 8, who's in the top 4, what decks make it. This is a big event because really, this is one of the first big events post M12 and post J-Spanning.
It's also important that it's one of the big events that's all standard. All the nationals, there's 6 rounds of draft. And,
yeah, that changes things dramatically.
It's like 4 rounds of standard, but, you draw the last round, you played almost as much draft as you have constructed. The decks in the top 8 might not be the most representative of what's actually good in the format. Whereas here, you top 8 9 rounds of standard, you top 8 at 9 rounds of standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting. That's what I thought. Something really interesting about the Star City Games Invitational. For those who don't know, the Invitational awards over $50,000 in prizes, tons of prize money. It's a really, really prestigious tournament. And the interesting thing about the Invitational is it's half standard, half legacy. And so this is really different from pretty much any other tournament because most split tournaments are nationals, which are half, or nationals or pro tours, which are half constructed, half limited. The only real tournament that's like that is Worlds.
But that's also limited.
But that also is limited in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So you don't really see like these 2 constructed formats on either end, which can make some really interesting decisions happen. And once again, maybe you make top 8 because your legacy deck is better than your standard deck, and you play standard in the top 8. Go ahead.
Yeah, especially at this last one, that was often true with the last round standard. You draw it, and you played less standard than legacy.
Right, exactly. It changes things pretty interesting. So here are the 2 deck lists for Matt Farney and Adam Umstattd.
Oh wow!
Oh, we got some cool stuff going on here.
This looks very cool. You go ahead.
All right, so Adam Umstattd playing a green-white black deck. To run the Last Troll, Grand Abolisher, Birds of Paradise, Mirren Crusader, Llanowar Elves, Vengevine, Squadron Hawk. So you look at the creatures, you're like, okay, it's a green-white deck.
Yeah.
But then you get to the spells. 4 Oblivion Ring, 2 Dismember, 3 Go for the Throat, 3 Sword of War and Peace, 1 Haunting Echoes.
Oh man, that
Haunting
is
Echoes.
a blast from the past.
So against against Paramaster Ascension, just can't. Nothing they can do about it. If you can get either Splinter Twin or Deceiver Exarch into the graveyard, shuts off that combo deck.
Yeah.
Against the control decks, it's a pretty good inevitability card going long.
Yeah. Against Valakut, let me see. Does he have Tectonic Edge in his deck?
No.
He does not. I was really excited for Tectonic Edge or Valakut. Sorry, you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, it does get non-basic lands. For those who don't know, Haunting Echoes, it avoids basic lands for clear reasons, but against non-basic lands, Haunting Echo strips them.
Yep.
So it's interesting. Also good against Vengevine decks. A Singleton Haunting Echoes, pretty cool. Also, Leyline of Sanctity, Memoricide, Nature's Claim, and Celestial Purge in the sideboard.
So over here, on the other side, it looks like Matthew is playing a Vampires deck. Pretty standard black-red Vampires, Lacerator, Viscera Seer, Bloodghast, Hexmage, Highborn, Gatekeeper, and then Lightning Bolt, Arc Trail, Go for the Throat, Dismember. He has Shatter in the sideboard, not Manic Battle, Shatter. That's kind of interesting. Against Temper Seal, that's kind of nice because it kills Inkmoth Nexus on their turn. Ratchet Bomb, again, generally just solid card, beats Temper Seal pretty well. Sorin's Thirst, that's a card that's seen a bit of hype. Back in the day, Vicious Hunger was a good card. This one's an instant. Again, instant speed mattering a lot against the aggressive decks.
Oh, for sure.
And you have all these cards for Tempered Seal, but playing this Vampires deck, you really find out fast that against the control decks, you're kind of already where you want to be. Like, your cards are all just attacking them. And you really have room, you can board out the cards against the aggro decks and make your deck better against them, but against control, you just want to be this beatdown deck. Also in the sideboard, Surgical Extraction,
Well, it's the same thing as Haunting Echoes, right? Against the combo decks, you're just like, all right, get all of them.
Yep. And then a Go for the Throat to round out the set that was in the main, a Mimic Vet, and a Tectonic Edge.
So it looks like we've got a fairly stock-ish Vampires deck versus this cool green-white deck. I got to give the green-white-black deck the edge here. I feel like green-white decks are traditionally favored against Vampires.
I think Sword of War and Peace and Mirror and Crusader are going to be important as to how they line up against the removal spells.
Totally.
He also has Celestial Purge in the sideboard, which is a big card. He does not have Fauna Shaman, interestingly enough.
Mirror Crusader's got to be brutal for Vampires, right? They have to Gatekeeper it, or...
Archtrail Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, you have Archtrail Lightning Bolt, yeah. But...
I think Archtrail, the main deck Archtrails might be the key factor game 1.
Oh, yeah, true.
But going to game 2, it'll be interesting, because these cards like Ratchet Bomb's not actually that good against this deck. Shatter, not really that great. Soren's Thirst, probably fine. Mimic Vat's probably really good.
Yeah, Mimic Vat is pretty cool. Deals with Vengevine, gives you inevitability. So here we are going into round 5. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined here by Ari Lax at the Star City Games Open Series here in Cincinnati. On your right, Adam Umstattd playing this green-white-black kind of cool little aggressive deck. Yeah, it's like a brew.
And then on the left, we have Matthew Farney, and he is playing a black-red Vampires deck.
Oh, yeah. So we've got black-red Vampires on one side, green-white-black on the other, and it'll be interesting how this plays out. I give the edge to the green-white-black deck, but Vampires can certainly win. Like you said, Archtrail, key card here, Gatekeeper, Malkir, also probably a big deal against this kind of
There is
deck.
a lot of removal in this deck, and I think that this deck might be... how many creatures are there? Like, Squadron Hawks is going to be the defining card in game 1, probably.
Squadron Hawks
well,
is
after
also a big deal.
Archtrail, from the Vampire side. Like, Squadron Hawks is how the green-white deck is going to beat the Vampires deck.
Yeah, Squadron Hawk is certainly good. Also, I mean, Vengevine is a recurring threat that's a big deal, too.
Sure.
Partially powered in part with Squadron Hawk.
I was going to say, without Squadron Hawk, it's kind of hard to really get it going.
Throwing the last roll is a nice one, but can be Gatekeepered away.
Mm-hmm. A little slow, too.
Yeah, it's not certainly a little behind the curve.
I remember when playing Callblade, it was really important that, like, you'd try to curve out, but the Vampires deck would just play a guy, kill your guy, all the way up the curve. You know, Squadron Hawks might not even matter if they just go, you know, okay, Guy, bolt your Squadron Hawks, attack for 2. Okay, Guy, Archtrail your Squadron Hawks, you know, 2 to you, 1 to the Hawks, attack for 4, you know. Untap, oh, Squadron Hawks, okay, attack again anyways.
Interesting. Well, cool. Be excited to see how this plays out. One of the big spells, key spells from M12 making an appearance in this deck. Oblivion Ring is a huge one.
Oh, yeah.
Great to have O-Ring back in the format.
This deck also gets to play Grand Abolisher.
Yeah, that's another brand. That's an actual brand new one.
Yeah. Something that people haven't really talked much about.
Yeah, I mean, it's been talked about a lot for Legacy, not so much for Standard.
No. Oh, like, everyone's been saying, oh, it's not that good of a beatdown creature. That's not that good of a beatdown creature. You know, admittedly, it's not the same thing it is in combo, but it's still a guy.
All right, so here we go. Off to the races. Adam leads with a turn 1 Verdant Catacombs fetch, crack, take a damage. Here comes down Llanowar Elves. Sets up his turn 2 plan quite nicely if he's got a Mirror Crusader or something hiding out there. Although I guess you can't
not
Crusade. Can't Crusade off of the GG. But get a quick Vengevine.
It's coming to play tap Dragon Skull Summit for Matthew. Bit slower hand.
Yep,
Probably not exactly what he wants against Adam unless he has the Archtrail.
Yeah, and that's the singleton Llanowar Elf in Adam's deck too. So that could be setting himself up for some Archtrail beatdown. Looks like Adam's gonna crash in for 1. All right. So take 1. He just says take 1, go.
Take 1 Stirring Wildwood.
Or take 1. Oh yeah, take 1.
Take 1 Manland, go.
And that means he can activate the Manland next turn if he wants to.
Looks like Matthew has a hand of Archtrail, Lacerator, Hexmage, Viscera Seer, Gatekeeper, Highborn, and Lightning Bolt.
And he's going to bolt the Elf, seeing how, which is a good play, seeing how Adam didn't do anything last turn. You just
not going to do anything this turn either.
Right. And Matthew just plays another tap land, says go. Back to Adam's turn. Adam
has an Oblivion Ring waiting there.
Not going to do too much. Razorverge Thicket. Oh, no, a Swamp.
Land go.
Interesting. So Adam has Razorverge Thicket in his hand, but he opted to not play instead of playing the Swamp.
Probably leaving up Go for the Throat?
Yeah, that seems most likely to me. So then he could go for the Throat this turn and potentially cast Vengevine or something similar next turn.
Looks like Farney's debating whether he wants to play the Bloodghast he just drew, or 2 1-drops.
All right, 2 1-drops it is. And so Vampire Lacerator and Viserys here come down for Matthew Farney, excuse me. And Adam is going to go for the throat.
Dismember.
Or Dismember, paying 2 life. Interesting, you don't see the Dismember for 2 life that often.
No, it's usually 0 or 4.
Yeah.
Matthew scries a card to the bottom in response to that.
Alright, so Adam has another comes into play tap land. Passes the turn back to Matthew. Matthew takes one from his Viserys here.
Lacerator.
Vampire Lacerator.
Adam's going to take this hit down to 15 life.
Adam in no danger, but vampires can quickly mount a lot of damage, but let's see.
A Bloodghast and a third coming to play tap Dragon Skull Summit for Matthew.
Just the triple summit draw for Matthew Farney here. And Adam plays his 5th land, plays O-Ring, going to get rid of that Bloodghast, I presume. Yep, Bloodghast goes away underneath the Oblivion Ring. Adam still hasn't presented any threats to the board, though. Seems like his deck wants to be playing the aggressive game, so taking the control stance in this matchup is pretty interesting. I thought the Vampires deck would try and be the control deck, but with this draw, maybe not.
I think it really depends. I think the Vampire deck has a bit of the inevitability, but I think the early game also kind of belongs to it, you know. The whole, 2 mana or 1 mana 2/2 is much better beatdown than most of the stuff that the green-white deck is presenting. So I think the green-white deck just has to take this sort of stance where you survive their early game, get your big threats out, and then close before they can set up a Highborn.
Yep. And speaking of the Highborn, there's a Highborn down for Matthew Farney. So Matt's board is Highborn, Vampire Lacerator, 4 lands, 2 of them untapped.
None of them Lava Claw reaches.
None of them Lava Claw reaches. 3 Dragon Skull Summits, in fact, and a Swamp.
And that looks like that Highborn has a throat.
Yep, the Highborn, in fact, has a throat, and Adam goes for it.
Gets drained for 2, going to 10 life.
Yep, so now Adam's starting to get into a more precarious position. He's stabilized a little, but doesn't want to accidentally die to a bunch of vampire damage.
He does have the 2 man lands to block with.
Right. But if Matthew has some removal of his own, that could set back Adam's plans. Adam still has no creature play. It's certainly a strange draw for Adam Umstattd's deck here. We really expected it to play more of a beatdown deck.
Yeah,
but
he does have 2 man lands, so that Lacerator's not really going to get in too fast. But.
I mean, unless Matthew has a removal spell.
Yeah.
See, it looks like that is a Dismember, I think, too. So
I think he's a Gatekeeper, actually. So that's the plan. Is that happens?
Gatekeeper.
Arc Trail.
Oh, Arc Trail, okay.
Not a Gatekeeper.
2 to you, 1 to your face. And then he taps 2 and plays a Vampire Hexmage. Interesting. So Hexmage will answer to Planeswalkers. We haven't seen that one in Standard that often.
No.
Not going to do a ton in this matchup except for First Strike, which isn't even that relevant.
No. Passes right back. Did not play the Oblivion Ring. Did not want to have the Hexmage sacked in response and have that Bloodghast come back. So Stirring Wildwood's gonna wake up and block, and probably get lightning bolted before damage.
Yep, and bolted. So because of the First Strike on Hexmage, it survives.
Yeah. Act on taps.
And here taps a Forest. Down comes Birds of Paradise for Adam. Still nothing aggressive. All right, double Vampire Hexmage beatdown for Matthew Farney here. And looks like he's going to dismember one of the Hexmages. So that'll send 1 Hexmage away. Still taking 2 from the other one, though.
Yep.
And all right, Matthew thinking about his play.
Thinking about gatekeepering that Birds.
I think he just needs the pressure on the board.
Yeah. It's not even the pressure, it's just that Birds is going to die to Gatekeeper anyway, so.
Dismember.
Oh, Dismember.
So is that not a Gatekeeper he has in his hand then? I'd imagine if he had a Gatekeeper, he would have cast it by now.
Maybe he's saving it for a Throne or something?
Interesting. So there's a Oblivion Ring.
Oh, this is not going to end well.
Adam.
Oh.
So what's going to happen is, if Matthew plays this correctly, he'll sacrifice the Hex Mage in response, targeting nothing. And then...
The response to the actual spell Oblivion.
It's the actual spell, correct. And then Oblivion will enter the battlefield. We'll have to target Adam's own Oblivion Ring, which will bring Bloodghast back. Yes. And that'll just basically put a Bloodghast back in the game. Alright, so now he's explaining what's going on. He's like, Oblivion Ring has to target Oblivion Ring, bringing back Bloodghast.
Yes.
Adam sure is not too happy about this. And Adam passes back. Small error by Adam there. Turning that Hex Mage into a Bloodghast. Sure didn't exactly want that to happen. Let's see, looking at Adam's board, I think he's got a Grand Abolisher in his hand. Nope.
Pass right on back.
Attacks for 2, Adam at 3 life. Now within Lightning Bolt range. And he just packs him in.
Conceding.
Wow. That's that. So Matthew Farney takes game 1. Adam tried to play the control deck, was not successful. And got vampires.
Yeah.
So looking to the sideboard here for Adam, I think the only thing he's going to bring in are the 4 Celestial Purges, right?
Yeah. Those are probably better than Grand Abolishers. I can't imagine that card being exceptional here. Or Haunting Echoes.
Yeah, the Haunting Echoes is definitely coming out in this matchup.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be haunting much.
No.
Grand Abolisher.
Or Llanowar Elves. Maybe take out like some of the
guys who can Arc Trail.
Yeah. He has 24 lands, so he can probably support it.
Yeah, I think you can probably cut the Llanowar Elves and the Haunting Echoes, and then probably 2 Grand Abolishers. The Abolishers are certainly not great. They can at least block, I guess.
But they're hard to cast because you can't rely on birds to live.
That's true. Yeah, Llanowar Elves might just be better.
Yeah.
Maybe you cut 3 Abolishers and a Haunting Echoes.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Two or three Abolishers, the Llanowar Elves, maybe, and then definitely the Haunting Echoes. Yeah. And then I think on the other side of it, I think it's just Sorin's Thirst, go for the throw, Mimic Vat, come in, and I think just Viscerous Seer comes right on out. Maybe Hex Mage comes out. It's probably not that great.
Hex Mage is not impressive, but
it's like Highborn's necessary, Gatekeeper's necessary.
Yeah, you can't get anything
Maybe
else.
Lacerator comes out.
I guess Hex Mage might be better than Lacerator. It was weird because we know what's in Adam's deck, right? But from Matthew's perspective, he probably thinks Adam's deck is like a green, white, black control deck.
Yeah.
Because that's all he saw was just like Oblivion Rings and Dismembers and go for the throats.
That's true. So he's probably not even going to bring in the Sorin's Thirst. He might just bring in... He might bring in Surgical Extract. He might get trapped there.
He did see Birds and Llanowar Elf, which is a little telling. But, he just didn't see any action.
Yeah.
And both these players are undefeated, so...
That is true.
I'm sure that he thinks that, Adam's deck might just be some kind of weird, rampy control deck that goes to Planeswalkers.
Maybe Titans and Planeswalkers.
Titans and Planeswalkers, yeah. Which makes sense considering the draw that Adam had.
Yep.
Huh. Strange. Well, I guess then if I'm Matthew and we're trying to sideboard here...
Maybe just nothing. Maybe just go for the throat. That's probably good against all the cards.
I think the go for the throat for sure comes. I think Mimic Vat is also a pretty big contender. If you think your opponent's got Titans or something large, like Baneslayer Angel...
Matthew's thinking pretty hard about this one, it looks like.
Yeah, he's really trying to figure out what is going on over there. And so he knows Sorin's Thirst could be good because of the 1-drops, but maybe not.
Yeah. It might not actually be good post-board. Looking at are you going to trade for a Squadron Hawk? It might actually not even be good against this deck. Mirroring Crusader, it doesn't die to it. Grand Abolisher's bad and probably going out. Thrun doesn't die, just kills Birds and Llanowar Elves. 2 mana to kill those isn't necessarily that great.
Yeah, I don't think it's that
And
exciting.
I think that if Adam's going to win, it's going to be big margins, not little margins.
Yeah. Although Mimic Vat is definitely a very strong card.
Yeah, Mimic Vat's very good.
So, yeah, I think we'll see the Vat come in. Maybe nothing else, just the Vat, and then you cut.
Go for the throat.
The Vat and the go for throat. Maybe you cut 2 2 Hex Mages or 2 Lacerators or something.
Maybe a Seer and something else.
Perhaps a Seer, yeah. Although I think fireballing out your opponent could be pretty relevant with.
I was never a huge fan of Seer out of these decks against the aggro mirrors because it's just a bad body. I guess he doesn't know it's an aggro mirror. He probably wants Seer because he saw all the removal actually.
Right.
So he's gonna leave in Seer. Probably like a Hex Mage and a Lacerator. Because he doesn't know if it's Planeswalkers or
right.
not.
It's true. I guess if he thinks it's Planeswalker, I think Lacerator is probably the most likely cut if he thinks Planeswalkers.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, he probably wants to bolt in Arc Trails and go for the throats and his members.
Yeah, because he did see. Maybe he cut an Arc Trail. Maybe he just forgot about the birds. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we'll probably see -2 Lacerator. Or, not probably. It's really up in the air as to what Matthew's going to do here. All depends on what he thinks. But if I were sideboarding, I'd probably go -2 Lacerator, +1 Vat, +1 go.
Yeah. Maybe Tectonic Edge too, because the mana base on the 3-color deck can't be that.
Yeah, that's true. You know he has mana lands, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
So bringing in that singleton Tectonic Edge is a fine play.
Yes.
Probably depends once again on what Matthew thinks is going on, but it looks like they're cutting each other's decks. And we're about to see Game 2 unfold, where Adam will hopefully be able to reveal what his deck actually is supposed to do. All right. So Adam looks over his 7-card grip. He looks satisfied.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
He's
no,
shipping.
maybe not.
Both of them go to 6.
Looks like that sigh of relief was actually a sigh of, man, this sucks. And
Yeah.
he ships them back. Goes for 6 new cards. Matthew also sending his cards back, though, so both players are going to start on 6 here.
Yeah. Keep things fair a little bit.
On a 6-card hand, I think this might favor the Vampires deck. But it's hard to say for sure.
Probably. The other deck has Birds of Paradise and Llanowar Elves that aren't really real cards necessarily, I guess. And it's not like the end game is something like a Titan that just ends it and makes up all the card disadvantage.
Although I guess Squadron Hawk is a pretty good way to recoup
That's
cards.
true. That's true. Maybe on 5 is the green-white deck's favorite, but 6 is the Vampire deck. Probably still has enough cards to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I think it really depends a lot on the quality of the cards in their hand, too. I mean, and what kind of game plan they go for. It seems like Adam wants to turn into more of a control deck by bringing those Celestial Purges. But
Have more answers for Highborn, more answers for Bloodghast that don't cause... Well, Highborn without life loss, that is.
All right, so both players seem to be keeping, and here we go. Stirring Wildwood from Adam, followed by Swamp from Matthew, followed by Lacerator. Oblivion Ring, Oblivion Ring, Celestial Purge. Tons of removal in Adam's hand. He's got Oblivion Ring, Celestial Purge, another land or 2. I think it might be even another Celestial Purge.
Can't really see. He's debating whether he wants a Celestial Purge in combat.
All right, down comes Viserys here. I might Purge now.
I might just Purge the Seer.
Sure.
And it looks like Matthew is short on lands this game.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Matthew's short on lands. Oh, no, guess not. I was going to say you might just want to get that Seer out of there, but I guess you don't want to give him incentive to sacrifice the Seer.
Yeah. That's a Mirroring Crusader.
Oh.
That's what that one is. That's pretty good right now.
Yeah, against my opponent's 1-land Vampires draw. Yeah, and he just goes ahead and sacrifices the Seer anyway. Matt knows he has to find lands if he wants to beat that thing.
Yep. So Matthew thinks about whether he wants to keep. He does have looks like a red card in his hand. Puts the Scry on the bottom. Not what he was looking for. Draws a Ratchet Bomb. His hand looks like he's got to go for the throat. Bloodghast, Arc Trail. Yeah. Matthew has nothing to do on his turn. Adam gets in there for 4.
And Mirror Crusader is quite the beating against your Vampire's opponent, especially... Oh, man.
It's an Oblivion Ring.
I don't even know if I would have done that.
I would have been very, very cautious about that, because he could just dismember his own Lacerator.
Dismember his own Lacerator, and then suddenly your
Oblivion
Mirror
Ring
Crusader's
you
gone.
again.
And granted,
he has it.
I would do that, because it's basically just trading Dismember for his Mirror Crusader, which he would instantly do, right?
Yeah. Immediately.
I mean, granted, he could O-ring his O-ring to get back his Mirror Crusader, but I mean,
he's
whatever.
then he's just doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I would snap you that.
Oh, what?
I mean, Adam is still way ahead, obviously. Matthew only has 1 land, but that was pretty good for Matthew Farney.
That is Marsh Flats for
Make sure to sacrifice. Let's see if he sacrifices that Marsh Flats. I want to make sure that he.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. He's recording life totals.
Matthew took a lot of damage off that guy.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, that Lacerator and that Mirror Crusader really added up.
Oh yeah, no, I mean Matt is already sitting on 9 life.
Yeah.
And Adam has Stirring Wildwood too. So Stirring Wildwood could become a 3/4 creature. Can definitely deal with that Bloodghast nicely.
Yep.
Could also just go on the offensive and try and shock down Matthew's life total. Bloodghast cannot block. No intercepting will be done by that 2/1 creature. It is the jungle line of the Vampire's world. And it looks like Adam drew a Vengevine, making the beatdown plan look even more plausible. Of course, the question is, does he want to reveal that information at this point?
Probably. You have to close at some point. Nope, just sending him with the land.
All right, chops Matthew's life down to 6. All right, there's a land for Matthew Farney. Serves him for 2 with that Bloodghast, dropping Adam to 15. And he's probably going to follow up. Looks like he's got another Bloodghast in his hand. Just pass is going to make sure he doesn't drop down to 3.
He has that go for the throat up, but this doesn't seem like this sequence ends too well unless he draws some more lands to actually cast spells and leave up his answers.
Yep, 3 mana, serve with Stirring Wildwood.
Go for the throat.
Yep, and there's go for the throat. So that's down, but Adam's still going to have access to Vengevine.
Bloodghast gets in there again, down to 13 for Adam.
Okay, slowly but surely chipping away at Adam's life total.
2 is a lot more damage than it feels like.
And now it's another
4. Bloodghast.
Yep, another Bloodghast enters the fray, so now it's 4 damage a turn.
But Celestial Purge is probably going to take care of one of those.
Yeah. Oh, choosing not to.
Still just sitting.
Oh, what's that green card he just drew? Is that a Thrun?
Not sure.
Birds of Paradise, maybe? Yeah,
Birds of Paradise.
So Birds comes down, maybe block a little bit.
Get our trailed a little bit.
So Adam does not cast the Vengevine.
Does he have a Vengevine? Are we sure on that?
Pretty sure he has a Vengevine.
That's an Arc Trail.
So Arc Trails.
2 to you, 1 to it.
All right, so now he's going to crash in for 4. Now you have to purge, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I mean, those... Yeah, there we go. Purge.
There we go. Down to 9.
All right, so now Adam's sitting at 9 life after that Celestial Purge. Facing down a lone Bloodghast now.
And soon to be a Ratchet Bomb.
A Ratchet Bomb, okay.
I think he's going to put that up to 3, so that if you Oblivion Rings the Mirror Crusader, you can kind of get somewhere off of that. Or at the very least, if you place a 4-drop like Thrawn or Vengevine, pop it up, kill it next turn.
Yeah,
I mean, that's assuming that there's that many turns left in the game, too.
Yeah. Haunting Echoes. So he left in the Haunting Echoes. Interesting. So he casts Haunting Echoes, and he's going to get rid of numerous spells by Matt. Interesting. All right, so he's going to get rid of Arc Trail.
Go for the throat. Probably not Marsh Flats.
Probably not Marsh Flats. Too bad a Bloodghast wasn't in the graveyard. We could have really got him good. But I'm surprised Adam left that in.
Yeah, maybe it's just 4 Bloodghast. You know, you need some way to deal with it as this green deck. Like, they'll just grind you out in the long run. There's a Viscera Seer, a Lacerator, Dismember.
All right, so he's going to get rid of all the Dismembers.
So that leaves Matthew. He has...
And all the go for the throats.
Probably the Lacerators. So Matthew's going to have Highborn, Hexmage, Gatekeeper, Bloodghast, Lightning Bolt, and it's like the good half of his deck, actually.
I mean, but higher land density, of course.
Sure.
But
with Bloodghast, maybe that doesn't matter so much.
And he's making sure to leave Marsh Flats in the graveyard. So just chooses not to get rid of those. Alright, so make sure that he's got all the copies.
Maybe we can see what he except-worded from here.
Yeah, we could really try and figure it out.
I think he took out a Lacerator.
Yeah, it all seems like he took out a Lacerator to me. I think I only saw 3 pushed under there. Alright, so Matthew shuffles up after that Haunting Echoes. And now he's going to pass back. Now, he did just Haunting Echoes Matthew, but he's still worried about that Bloodghast.
Matthew has, I think, a bit more lands than spells left. Ratchet Bomb stays at 0.
Drops Adam to 7 off that blood gas.
That blood gas is bringing the good beats. He does not. He has Leyline of Sanctity as the card he has in his hand, not Venge Run.
Leyline of Sanctity?
I think so. Beats Highborn, right?
Does beat
Beats
Highborn.
Lightning Bolt. Beats Inquisition the decks used to have. So maybe he's thinking that there's discard spells going to come at him. Maybe I'm seeing the wrong card, but that would...
So he Oblivion Rings that blood gas.
Yep, that is a Leyline of Sanctity.
Leyline of Sanctity. All right, you can't be Highborn out anymore.
Can get that Lightning Bolt to the face right there.
Right,
Down to 4.
Down to 4 life, but can't be targeted.
These Oblivion Rings are not... That Oblivion Ring actually could have gotten a Mirroring Crusader back.
Yeah. I mean, he's facing down...
Reasonable amount of damage.
I mean, he's facing down a Ratchet Bomb, I guess, which makes him a little concerned. But, all right, there's
even if he does Ratchet Bomb, he gets back the Oblivion Ring off the Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I kind of like getting that Oblivion Ring.
Yeah. Yet another
ring. He's going to put that under there. Oh, doesn't even think about it. Falls right for Matthew's trap as he pushes the Highborn underneath it.
This Ratchet Bomb's ticking down.
Interesting. It's weird. This is not how I would have sideboarded at all if I was Adam. I'm not sure I like this sideboard plan. I mean, he's playing a really controlled that game here.
Is that a Gatekeeper he drew so that when he pops the Ratchet Bomb, he gets to kill the Mirror Crusader too?
Oh my.
Oh wow.
All right, well, let's see what Adam does. So Adam's sitting at 4 life. Matthew at 6 life. For those who can't tell what the board is, Adam's board is 3 Oblivion Rings.
Oh, he can't target with Gatekeeper. That's why. Ah.
1 with the Mirror Crusader, 1 with the Vampire, or 1 with the Blood Gas, and 1 with a Colossus Highborn.
And that is a dismembered Gatekeeper, putting Adam to, I believe, 3 life.
And there's also Leyline of Sanctity on Adam's side of the board. So yeah, Adam's sitting at 3 life now, sitting underneath the Leyline of Sanctity. But that Ratchet Bomb could get rid of that Leyline.
If it's needed to kill that Leyline and get Lightning Bolt through, then Ratchet Bomb will do what it does.
Yep.
That card's turning out surprisingly well. Definitely not something I would have sideboarded in. The mana costs on the threats are a bit diverse, but it's turning out pretty well this game.
All right, Adam draws another card.
Players just passing back and forth.
Adam just looking for an out. Matthew choosing to not charge up his Ratchet Bomb any further. Plays 2, Ratchet Bomb, number 2. Passes back to Adam. Finally something's going on.
That is a Birds of Paradise.
Oh my, it is a Birds of Paradise.
That might be getting sort of War and Peace sometime soon, except for that Ratchet Bomb's not going to let him do that very well.
Yeah. All right, so Matthew kicks up both Ratchet Bombs, setting 1 to 3 and 1 to 1, I believe.
Yes, those would be the numbers that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, 1 is a little off screen. I can't quite see what number it's on, but I think it's a 3.
Matthew has more lands in hand.
All right. So 6th land for Matthew. Looks like Adam drew a Celestial Purge. Mm-hmm. Relevant. All right. Matthew.
Ratchet Bomb ticks up again.
Charges up the Ratchet Bomb that was on 1, sending it up to 2, leaving the one on 3 there.
And that's a Marsh Flats.
All right. Marsh Flats down for Matthew. Is that another land for Adam?
Yep.
Yeah, passes the turn yet again. Adam just cannot find anything. Can't find a Squadron Hawk, a Vengevine, a Mirror Crusader, a Thrun.
Matthew is thinning his deck out, getting some of those lands away. Yep. Fetching.
I mean,
still no Lava Claw reaches.
All he's got to do is find a Lightning Bolt, though. If he finds a Lightning Bolt, he can kill off that Leyline of Sanctity with the Ratchet Bomb. And
maybe one of them's at 4, but I don't think he ticked them up. I think he's just leaving them both on 3 so he can bomb away those Oblivion Rings, then bomb away the Crusader.
Yeah, but if he draws a Lightning Bolt, he can just spend a turn getting rid of the Leyline. And it should be clear to go. I mean, Adam has no way to gain life, except for sort of War and Peace, I guess.
That's a Lava Claw reaches.
All right, well, there's a reaches.
That one kind of does something. But not in the face of the Celestial Purge.
Passes the turn. Adam plays another land. Is that another land for Matthew?
His deck's all land now.
Huh. Attack you with that. Pump it once.
I like the pay X on that, where you could just activate it for 1 a bunch of times.
Or 0.
Or 0 a bunch of times, yeah.
If that's what you're into. Alright.
That's a go for the throat, not a Celestial Purge. Probably saving that Purge so that he can kill that Colostria Highborn when it comes back. If it comes back. Or the Bloodghast.
Right, makes sense. Adam, just sitting with not much to do, no action.
Matthew doing much of the same.
I wonder what he took out for those Leyline of Sanctities. Maybe that's why he hasn't drawn any threats. Draws another land. The board for now, Adam is now a bunch of lands, 3 Oblivion Rings and Leyline of Sanctity versus 2 Ratchet Bombs, both of them on 3 counters. Adam at 3 life, Matthew at 4 life. Matthew's now a Vengevine hit away though. It's a big deal.
He doesn't know about Vengevines yet though, so that
no, I mean,
that could be an unpleasant surprise.
Yeah, I mean, your opponent has Leyline of Sanctity, 3 Oblivion Rings.
And then Vengevines you.
Then you think you get Vengevined out.
I mean, it could be worse. Could be Soren's Vengeance, so.
Soren's Vengeance is sweet. I think that card's going to see constructed play.
Yeah, I agree. And that is a Colostria Highborn.
Alright, so there's a Highborn. Now, what is Adam going to do?
He's actually not dead to a Vengevine because he just cracks the Oblivion Rings. And I guess Celestial Purge, now he's not dead, but Celestial Purge would have taken out the Highborn before.
Alright, so he's going to purge the Highborn.
Yes.
Matthew thinking. What is Matthew thinking about?
Thinking to think.
Like maybe, if you... Highborn targets, yes? Yeah, I've done this on Magic Online before. It definitely targets, so... Alright.
Adam on taps, draws another Leyline. Still had all of these defensive cards.
Just nothing aggressive. It's almost like I'm not even looking at the same deck list here. I'm looking down, I see Thrun, Mirror Crusader, Vengevine, Squadron Hawk. I just haven't seen any of them. You should have just Hunting Echoes himself at this rate. Man. Like the old Cranial Extract yourself, like I need to thin my deck, so...
I've never heard of that one.
I've done that one before.
Really? It's a spicy one.
My opponent's like, I don't really care about any of your cards anymore. They're all redundant. I just want to make sure I draw whatever I need to draw. I did it exactly once.
That sounds like the correct number to do it.
Yeah.
0 or 1. There's another Highborn.
What is that I'm going to do to it this time?
It's going to go for its throat. And in response, that Leyline's going out.
Alright, so cracks the Leyline on 4. Going to drain Adam down to 1 life. So life totals
Whoa. Why didn't he just crack the other one and get him for 4? I guess he dies to the Mirror Crusader if he has something, but...
Oh, yeah. That's true. If he taps the other one, kills all the Oblivion Rings, Highborn comes back.
If he has another removal spell, then he dies, but... yeah. They're currently discussing the ordering of all this stuff. He actually doesn't die because he goes to 5 with the game life. Maybe we have the life totals wrong. Maybe he's at 4. I think we might have had a Vengevine hit for, not a Vengevine hit. A Mirror Crusader hit for 3 earlier.
Down comes Leyline of Sanctity, number 2.
Yes.
So the board for Adam is now 3 Oblivion Rings, Leyline of Sanctity versus Matthew Farney's Ratchet Bomb. Adam sending out 1 life. Matthew sitting at 5 life. Adam has drawn no action this entire game.
Yeah, this is interesting. Kicks up the Ratchet Bomb.
So Ratchet Bomb at 4. This Oblivion Ring's not going anywhere now.
Looks like a Gatekeeper. It's probably going to get played as a 2-2.
Go, 2-2, go. Alright, yeah, there's the 2-2.
Good old Grizzly Bears fights so hard.
BB Grizzly Bears. Stirring Wildwood now, and I think that's 1 turn too late for Adam.
There's a Birds of Paradise and Blade of Block.
Oh, there is. Oh, that bird's still hiding down there. I didn't even see that. Alright, Bird's blocks. Alright, now that Stirring Wildwood's going to be able to block that Gatekeeper. He just drew another Leyline of Sanctity.
Necessary.
Alright, plays another land. And I think he's just going to pass the turn here.
That's, I believe, 13 lands out of his 24.
My. Oh, my. That's not counting any fetch land cracks he did earlier, too.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's way too many lands.
That's a lot of lands. And once again, 0 Vengevines, 0 Squadron Hawks, 1 Mirror Crusader, no Thruns.
Huh.
Not even a sort of war and peace for its Birds of Paradise.
Nothing.
So unless he sideboarded them all
He
out.
might have boarded out Sword.
Like, it's possibly sideboarded out some of those cards, but
No way, all of them.
this is the issue with sideboarding in so many reactive cards. You just dilute your deck.
Oh, it's gonna play
Gatekeeper number 2. All right.
That's the turn.
What does Adam have? Is that another land?
I don't know.
It was another land.
That is a concession.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Still had lands.
Wow.
So Matthew Farney with Black-Red Vampires takes down Adam Umstattd, who is playing a green-white black aggro control mid-range homebrew.
Yeah, it looks really interesting, but man, Adam's deck just did not do what he wanted to do at all. If he had just drawn a single Squadron Rock, the games would have been so different.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap. Man. And we're coming back to the booth. Hey everyone, back in the booth. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined here with
Ari Lax.
And we're here in Cincinnati, Ohio for the Star City Games Open Series standard portion. We're through 5 rounds now.
5? Wow.
That's a lot of rounds.
I know, it is. There's still more to go.
Still 4 more rounds to go.
Yeah, and then top 8.
And then the top 8, the quarterfinals will be tonight. The rest of the top 8 will be tomorrow.
Yes.
Man, a lot of good stuff happens. I've already seen a lot of cool decks in action. We've seen Valakut a couple times. We've seen
Splinter Twin a couple
Splinter
times.
Twin, Pyromancer Ascension,
Multiple kinds of red decks, Koldatha and regular mono red.
Cawblade,
Do we see Tempered Steel one of these?
Tempered Steel.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
The blue-white one, not the mono-white one. It's a wide open format right now.
Format seems to be thriving. We'll see how it starts getting honed down now that these bans have happened and nationals around the world are happening. Things are going to change, and part of the revolution is going to be right here at the Star City Games Open Series. These events really do shape the metagame.
Look at Callblade.
Yeah.
Callblade really went from being this kind of like, oh, it did well at the Pro Tour deck, let's see what else is good, we'll try everything else, to nothing is beating this deck just because of these events.
Yeah. Without the Star City Games Open Series, it was unlikely Cawblade would have been the dominating force it was.
It would have been the best deck for sure, but it definitely would not have been, oh, well, that's lucky, a deck that wasn't Callblade top 8 in. Oh, lost in the first round again.
Yeah, it's interesting looking back at other formats like Ravnica Time Spiral or many of the great formats across time. I wonder if the Open Series had existed then, if would have a similar thing.
I don't think those formats. Maybe Ravnica Time Spiral with Dragonstorm, but there wasn't really this kind of oppressive deck like that. Like maybe the Fairy Standard would have been like not the
Ancestral
Stars,
Vision one?
Not the Ancestral Vision ones. That one was already that way. The one after it, when everyone kept saying, "Oh, Fairies is dead," and then like Volcanic Fallout kills Fairies, and then it didn't kill Fairies, and then finally 32 Great Sable Stags kills Fairies. Okay, you got me.
Yeah, but at least there were answers in the format,
Volcanic Fallout wasn't really an answer. It was just kind of a card.
It was a card, right? You had to deal with it, but still, Mistbind click you. If Bitter Blossom wasn't necessarily a fairy, things might have been a lot different too. Yeah, able to champion it to Mistbind click.
There's a lot of things that would have been different.
Yeah, but not only have we seen some great games, we've talked about some great stuff, and we ran a teaser not that long ago for Brad Nelson's book that's coming out.
Rich Hagan's book.
Rich Hagan's about Brad Nelson. Grinder. A couple people on Twitter, including Brad Nelson himself, have asked to have it run again, and we're going to run it multiple times this weekend. Stay tuned. We'll run it at least once during the top 8, and maybe sometimes in between then. So stay tuned to the broadcast, and you guys will see it again. The book is really incredible. It's an insanely well written book. I read it all in one sitting, and it's not out yet, but when it comes out, you guys are going to want to read it. And the trailer is phenomenal too. It's really well done, put together. You guys are going to want to check that out. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we have 5 more rounds plus the quarterfinals of Standard to bring you for Legacy tomorrow.
How many rounds?
4 more rounds.
4 more rounds plus the
4 rounds plus quarterfinals. And then after that, something we haven't even talked about, Legacy tomorrow.
And draft opens.
So let's talk about those 2 things for a second. Okay. Let's first talk about Legacy.
Okay.
Yeah, you play a lot of Legacy. You're known as a Storm guy, but little known to the outside world, Arlex plays other decks too. You've jammed Green White.
I've been forcing myself to play other decks, but yeah, Green White Hate Bears. That deck was pretty good before people started playing Batterskull. It's probably still fine now.